Your Italian surname is not just a name, it is a map coordinate pointing to a village your great-grandparents left behind over a century ago. Between 1880 and 1920, 4 million Italians crossed the Atlantic. They carried nothing but the clothes on their backs and a surname that encoded exactly where they came from. A surname that told whether they fled poverty in Sicily or factory work in Lombardy, whether they were blacksmiths, abandoned children, or descendants of Roman conquerors. Today, we are decoding 10 Italian surnames from number 10 down to number 1. Each one will reveal the precise region, sometimes the exact village, your family left behind. And number 1 hides a heartbreaking origin that millions of people carry without knowing it. Before we begin, understand this. Italian surnames are hyperlocal. A German surname might tell you a profession. An English surname might tell you a landscape feature. But an Italian surname tells you a village, sometimes the exact street. The reason is geography. Until 1861, Italy was not a country. It was dozens of independent kingdoms, duchies, and city-states. People did not move. Your surname locked you to your birthplace for generations. So when 4 million Italians emigrated between 1880 and 1920, they carried surnames that were geological layers of identity. We are counting down from 10 to 1. If your surname does not appear, drop it in the comments. In the next video, it might be number 1. Number 10, Ferrari. You recognize this name from the cars, from the Formula One team. But Ferrari comes from the Latin word ferrarius, ironworker, blacksmith. This surname exploded in Lombardy, Emilia-Romagna, and Piedmont during the Middle Ages, when northern Italy became the industrial heart of Europe. Milan, Bologna, Turin, these cities needed blacksmiths to forge armor, tools, agricultural equipment. If your surname is Ferrari, your ancestors were part of the artisan class that built the economic engine of northern Italy. The geographic cluster is unmistakable. Over 70% of Ferraris in Italy today still live north of Florence. Your family left a workshop, not a farm. Number 9, Colombo. Christopher Columbus in English. But the surname Colombo existed centuries before the explorer was born. It comes from the Latin columbus, dove. In medieval Italy, a dove symbolized peace, the Holy Spirit, purity. Colombo was given as a name to children born during religious festivals, especially Easter. The surname concentrated in Liguria, around Genoa, where Christopher Columbus himself was born in 1451. If you carry this name, there is a strong chance your ancestors came from the Ligurian coast. Genoa was the port that launched not just Columbus, but thousands of Italian emigrants in the 19th century. Your surname connects you to the city that taught Italy how to leave. Number 8, Marino. From the Latin marinus, of the sea. This surname tells you your ancestors lived on the coast, not just near the coast, on it. Fishermen, sailors, shipbuilders, salt workers. Marino is densely packed along the Tyrrhenian coast, Campania, Lazio, Calabria. The Marino families of Naples were renowned sailors who crewed the merchant fleets that connected Italy to Spain, North Africa, and the Levant. In the 1880s, when the southern Italian economy collapsed, the Marinos did what they had always done. They took to the sea. Thousands emigrated to Argentina and the United States. If your name is Marino, your ancestors knew how to read wind and tide before they could read letters. Number 7, Romano, Roman. This surname does not mean your ancestors lived in Rome. It means they came from somewhere else and were identified as Roman. In medieval northern Italy, especially Lombardy and Veneto, anyone who migrated north from the Papal States or Rome itself was labeled Romano. The surname marks internal migration within Italy, centuries before the Great Emigration. If your surname is Romano and your family emigrated from northern Italy, your ancestors were already migrants once before. They left Rome or Lazio, moved north, and carried that identity as a surname for generations. Then in the 19th century, they left Italy entirely. Your surname is a double migration, encoded in 7 letters. Number 6, Caruso. This surname comes from the Sicilian dialect word carusu, boy, young man. But the word carried a darker meaning. In Sicily during the 19th century, a carusu was a child laborer who worked in the sulfur mines. Boys as young as 8 years old descended into the mines, carrying baskets of sulfur on their backs in suffocating heat. The Caruso surname concentrated in the sulfur mining provinces of central Sicily, Caltanissetta, Enna, Agrigento. If your surname is Caruso, your ancestors survived the most brutal labor system in Italy. When emigration opened in the 1880s, the Caruso families left Sicily in waves, heading to coal mines in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. They traded one mine for another, but at least the new one paid. Number 5. Ricci, from the Italian word riccio, curly-haired. This surname was a physical descriptor that became permanent. In medieval Italy, when surnames were forming, you were identified by what made you visually distinct. Red hair, tall stature, a scar, curly hair. Ricci spread across central Italy, especially Tuscany, Umbria, and the Marche. The Ricci families of Florence were prominent bankers and merchants during the Renaissance. But by the 19th century, most Ricci families were farmers in the Apennine foothills. When the Italian economy collapsed in the 1880s, they left. If your surname is Ricci, your ancestors were marked by a simple physical trait that became their identity for 600 years. And if you have curly hair, the trait still runs in your blood. Number 4. Conti, from the Italian word conte, count. This surname originated as a nickname for someone who worked in a count's household or acted like nobility without being noble. It could also have been given ironically to someone with aristocratic pretensions. Conti concentrated in Lombardy and Emilia-Romagna, the same regions that produced Ferrari. But unlike Ferrari, which marked a trade, Conti marked proximity to power. If your surname is Conti, your ancestors likely served in the courts of the local nobility. They were stewards, clerks, tax collectors, or estate managers. When those courts dissolved after Italian unification in 1861, the Conti families lost their positions. Many emigrated in the following decades. Your surname proves your family once stood close enough to power to be marked by it, even if they never held it themselves. Number 3. Russo, red. This surname marks someone with red hair or a ruddy complexion, but Russo also means Russian, and in southern Italy, especially Calabria and Sicily, Russo was given to families descended from Byzantine Greeks who ruled southern Italy until the Norman conquest of the 11th century. The Russo surname is the most common surname in Naples and Palermo. If your surname is Russo and your family emigrated from southern Italy, your bloodline likely predates the Italian language itself. You descend from Greek-speaking Christians who held southern Italy for 5 centuries. When the Normans conquered the south in 1071, the Greek communities stayed, intermarried, and slowly Italianized, but the surname remained. Russo is not just Italian, it is Byzantine. Number 2. Vitale, from the Latin vitalis, of life, vital, alive. This surname was given to children born after the death of a sibling, a sign that life continued despite loss. It was also a baptismal name invoking Saint Vitalis, an early Christian martyr. Vitale concentrated in Sicily and Campania. In the 19th century, Sicily had one of the highest infant mortality rates in Europe. 1 in 3 children died before age 5. Families that survived this gave their next child a name that meant life itself. If your surname is Vitale, your ancestors knew loss intimately. They watched children die and named the survivors after the miracle of survival. When those survivors emigrated to America in the 1880s and 90s, they carried a surname that was a prayer and a defiance. Number 1. Esposito. This is the most heartbreaking surname in Italy. Esposito comes from the Latin expositus, exposed, abandoned. In Naples and across southern Italy, this surname was given to foundlings, children abandoned at church doors or orphanages. The practice was formalized in the 17th century when the Ospedale degli Incurabili in Naples installed a ruota degli esposti, a rotating wooden wheel built into the wall where mothers could leave infants anonymously. The nuns would rotate the wheel, take the child, and ring a bell. The child would be baptized and given the surname Esposito. Today, Esposito is the 4th most common surname in Italy. Over 300,000 people carry it. If your surname is Esposito, your ancestors were children who survived abandonment. They were given nothing but a name that meant exposed, and they endured. That is your bloodline. Survival against silence.